Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to whoever is watching this. I actually just recorded this. It was like just shy of 15 minutes, and then I realized I was like, my headset's not on, so I didn't have any audio, so it was just me talking, and I like went to play it back because I always like to like listen to make sure it sounds okay, and my mic isn't the best, but it works out. But anyways, yeah, I mean, it sucks that I didn't have audio, but I'm just gonna refilm it right now, because why not? I can do that. So, for December 20th, right, I'm filming this on the 21st, but on the 20th, I ended up waking up and my dad and I were watching a show called, I think, I Almost Got Away with It or something, or I almost got, or like, yeah, I almost got away with it. And it's just like a crime-based show, and the stories they had on there are crazy. The one we were watching, the guy was on like the FBI's top 10 most wanted list for like a year or two, right? Like anywhere from bank robberies, counterfeit bills to um, unaliving people. It was just absurd, just like the stuff that was going on in that show. Um, but we were kind of captivated, really captivated by that. And I'm not one really to watch TV or shows too much. There's just a couple shows I'll go in and binge, but that was a pretty interesting show to just sit down and watch. After that, we ended up going to Culver's to get lunch. Couple burgers, couple of um, custard milkshakes. Um, so it's pretty good. Uh, but people were saying like, in the comments, and I mentioned this when I recorded it last time, is that they're like, it's so nice to see you, like spending time with your dad and stuff like that. And I never really thought about it. And that's why I kind of like when people comment and say stuff because it's like an external reflection for me because like you kind of have tunnel vision and you like live your life and things are like the norm, right? But when people say certain things and then you think about it, you're like, oh, yeah, that's true. So yeah, I'm pretty grateful that I was able to spend this week with my dad. So got to do a lot of cool stuff. Wish we could have done more, but it's kind of it's the winter, so it's not as much as open and stuff. But we had a good time nonetheless. Um, but he left this morning. He's heading back home, and then I'm gonna leave this afternoon at some point. I'm not sure when, but within the next couple hours. So that's great. And, as always, I appreciate, the nice, kind comments. Someone said very based. I thought that was funny. I thought that was really funny, actually. So yeah, had a good week with my dad. Pretty stoked about that. And then, after we got Culver's, we were just kind of like goofing around for a bit. And then he ended up going out to he got a pedicure, I think. He wanted a pedicure and I think he got like his like legs massaged or something. I have no idea. So he has like sciatica right now, or it's like flaring up. So he kind of wanted that, and he was like, it was amazing. I've never had a manicure or pedicure or any of that. That's just something, but he seemed to enjoy it. So if he enjoyed it, good for him. That's all that matters if it made him happy. Um, so he went and did that. My girlfriend came over and we celebrated Christmas together. So she got me like a little silver bracelet, and I think it's silver. It's either that or like stainless, maybe. I'm not too certain. She got me some clothes, and she got me a keychain tag. So in the video, um, like the when I filmed, I was talking about how it's pretty funny that when I was little and I would get like, socks or underwear or clothes, I was like, show me the Legos. I don't want this boring stuff, and that's kind of like a relatable like meme, is when you're a kid you just want the toys, but when you're an adult you're like, yes, like a new pair of socks. Like I'm so stoked for these. And that's where I'm at. I've been there for a few years at this point, honestly. Like I feel like once you hit your 20s, you're just like God bless like a new pair of socks, a nice soft new pair. So I got some socks from her, and that was awesome. But she also got me a keychain, and it's based off this picture of my cat. So it's laser engraved, and I like it because oh my God. I like it because that picture specifically because it has like the fall background and stuff, but they took out his face and they did that on a laser engraver. I don't know what kind of metal it is. It's probably like uh nickel plated stainless or something. I don't know. I'm just talking out my butt, but it was really cool. So, I'm thankful for that. And after that we went to a Christmas party with some coworkers. So, showed up. I was probably the youngest person by like 20-ish years, but that didn't stop me from, talking to people and having a good time because, everyone's a person and they all have stories, so it's always fun to hear other people's stories. So they had like a when I got there, they're like, "Oh yeah, like we're opening up the taco bar soon. We got like, alcohol bar downstairs, and then we'll move to the garage that's heated for some rowdy like drinking games." And I was like, "Whoa, like I'm not staying that late, I'm driving. I'm not drinking, I may have like a beer like in passing socially or something like that, but I'm not having a couple or anything." So, I think their plan was to party all night, and that wasn't not my plan. So we hung out for a bit, and then talked to some people, and then one of my other coworkers came, so we ended up, excuse me, hanging out with her and her husband. So I've got to finally meet him. He was also an engineer, so we kind of have that like I don't know that engineer like weird analytical brain type of thing. So we bonded over some things, and also boy brain, or I call it boy brain, right? And like boy, like we were talking about like doing stuff around the house. It's like yeah, like we could buy like $100 or $200 new tool and then do the job ourselves, or we could hire someone to do the job for like around the same cost. And the difference is it would just be like our time to it. And his wife and my girlfriend were like, yeah, you're always buying tools and doing this and doing that. And I'm just like, and me and him look at each other and we're like, well, over time it pays for itself, that's just like the joke, at least I see on some of like Facebook Shorts and Instagram Reels that I browse through. That is true. At least that's like my mindset is that like if I have to borrow a tool twice, I buy it once. If I And then my other mindset that I adopted this year is that if someone else can do it, I can do it. I'm then talking like physical athletic abilities because there are some like absolutely insanely talented people or like, musician, people with their like own skill like that. But most of mine, like that thought process comes behind like, okay, if someone can like adjust my garage door, I can adjust it. There's so many resources out there for me to be able to break it down and look at it. And that's what I was talking about in another video with resilience and just like we have all these resources at our fingertips. Um, so we came back from the Christmas party last night and I had to go to my friend's house to bring in his gifts. So we left the Christmas party at like 10:15 p.m. So we were there for like almost 3 hours. And talked, met whoever. But I had to bring in my friend's gifts, so he drove back down to. He's from Georgia originally. He's from Georgia. I forget where, and then his fiance is also from Georgia. So they drove down there together, and they're seeing each other's families for Christmas. But some of their gifts came late, so I ended up heading down over to his house, pulled up his garbage cans, put some of his stuff in or his gifts inside just so they weren't getting wet with all the snow and this like thawing, freezing. And I also had a gift for him. I think I mentioned it in the other video that when I went to Bronner's, the Christmas World, Christmas store, huge place, I got a wiener dog ornament. And so that was for him. So I ended up like also putting that under his tree with all the other gifts. And I like I was like trying to find a Sharpie last night in his house, and it took me like 5 minutes. I was like, dude, like, I'm pretty sure it should be in like one of your desk drawers, but it was just like one Sharpie at the bottom, and like, I remember it had been in there in like last year around this time, so I like looked there again, but yeah, it took me forever to find it. But anyways, yeah, I wrote him a little note, like Merry Christmas, some other stuff, and from Terrence, and I left that under his tree, so it felt good to kind of sneak that in there because he was asking me how many boxes, and I was like, oh yeah, like I think there was like this many, like including mine. I was like, I don't know what the other one was, but these were the other three, and he was like, oh okay, yeah, as long as there's those ones, then we're good. So hopefully that'll be a good surprise. I have to make something else for him. I didn't get a chance at all to CNC what I wanted to, but I'm about to have 10 days back home with my mom and dad, um, and my grandparents, uncle, aunt, all and cousins. So that's cool. And then I'll have another week after that, a little less than a week actually, to do stuff here. Um, so probably just get that done there, and I'm heading back home a couple weeks after that for a wedding uh, in January, and my birthday. My birthday's coming up, so um, yeah, that'll be a good time, I think. So with all that being said, that was basically my day yesterday. Then my dad and I just watched the when I got back from my friend's house, Mike's house. I poured a pretty strong tequila drink, and my dad and I watched The Hangover 3 and some comedian stand up after that. Um, so it was a pretty good time. We ended up passing out, and he left this morning. Soon to follow him in I don't know, within in 2 to 3 hours is like the latest I want to leave. So today's so far um, just like cleaned up and whatever, but I'll talk about that in today's video, which I won't have my computer, so I think I'm gonna either film it on my laptop or maybe we'll see. It has a really weird camera angle because it's like at the hinge, so it's like right up my nose, and we're like, no one wants to see that. I might just use my phone. But another thing I was thinking of is adding to. I'll try to make this quick because I don't really want these videos going over 15 minutes. Because I feel like that's kind of like where it starts getting long, even though it's just me talking, just stream of conscious. But anyways, my oh, what was I gonna say? Oh, I think I'm also gonna start recording what I do around the house and in the garage, because I'm always doing some like home projects, and if they helped like even one person do something, that would make me happy. I that's like one thing I do enjoy is like helping people, like seeing helping people and like seeing an appreciation like for the help too. Like that's just stuff that feels, really good. It's always a great time helping people get their stuff done. But yeah, my train of thought just completely derailed. But oh yeah, but so like film stuff on the heater I'm working on, right? I'm patching together like things I learned from like 20 different videos, but if I could just explain it in one, maybe someone will stumble across that and be like, "Oh yeah, like that's what I'm looking for. Like these are my issues, these are my symptoms, for whatever." Or just like saving money, insulating the garage, however, stuff like that. Um, I think that'd be super helpful. But anyways, so today for 12:20, I'm grateful for my girlfriend. She's just the most caring, most kind person that I could ever ask for as a partner. And she's awesome. Like so great. Um, just very thoughtful, and that's not to be overlooked, and that's not to be underappreciated. So I am wrapping this up as quickly as possible because I am going to hang out with her today, and I do not want to shorten my time with her because she specifically demanded like X amount of time, so I'm gotta meet the quota. Um, so yep, grateful for her, and then just I'll record some of those other things and I'll talk about today later. Probably just do it on my phone and see how to upload it from there. But yeah, I hope whoever's watching this, it's kind of crazy to me that people are still watching it. It blows my mind. I hope if you're traveling for the holidays, for Christmas or New Year's, whatever, travel safe, travel smart. Or if your family's traveling, I hope all goes well with their travels as well. Hope everyone stays safe. Hope everyone's healthy. Um, and on that note, I will talk to you guys later. Peace.